My next guest takes on Johnny Case coming up here this Thursday at PFL 7. It is Jason High joining me here on the program. Jason, how are you?
Doing well. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great. I appreciate you taking the time, especially on a Saturday, because I know that's like you get a little bit of rest usually on like the weekends. I know you fighters are always so busy. I see you're in the car. Where are you going to, or where are you coming from?
I actually just got to the gym.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
Hold
Okay.
on. You want to? Let's see what we got here.
Look at that.
Jackson.
Getting like Cribs edition here.
Oh, yeah. So that's what I'm doing today.
Cool. Well, I appreciate you taking the time. Like I said, this fight's on Thursday, so you got just under a week before this takes place, and this is going to be your third fight for PFL in their regular season format. Do you like the sort of the format and everything? Do you like fighting this often? Some fighters I know would want a bit more time in between fights, but where do you stand on that?
I like to stay busy. I feel like I'm sharper when I'm busy. So yeah, I'm okay with this actually.
Okay, that's good. Coming off a loss, I know a really tough opponent in Nathan Schulte. What did you sort of learn the most from that fight? You always learn more from a loss than a win.
Yeah. I mean, I gave up a couple takedowns that were unnecessary, I thought. So I think I'm feeling good. I just need to kind of fight harder in those positions to not be on bottom. So yeah, but we took a few things away from that fight. It was a good scrap up until then, and I just made a mistake, and he got me out of there. So it's a cold game.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I hear you on that. Was the fight before that weighing on your mind at all with the whole controversy with the referee? Like, was that on your mind, or did you sort of move past that?
No, I didn't really not when I'm fighting. That's not on my mind at all.
Okay.
Uh,
Yeah, have you heard anything from the commission about that? Because that was really, I mean, if you go back and watch it, clearly you didn't tap, and I know it. I know Efren's saying one thing, but I think people watching the fight know that you definitely weren't out.
yeah, no, I haven't heard anything from them. I
Okay.
don't expect so.
Another tough opponent here in Johnny Case, UFC veteran like yourself. How do you feel like you match up against him in this fight?
He's a tough guy, man, but I feel like I got the skills to get him out of there, and we match up well. I'd say the matchup favors me, but I say that with every matchup though. So
Right.
yeah,
Otherwise, you wouldn't take the fight, right? I mean,
right, right.
yeah. What's the point?
Um, but yeah, man, I'm excited to get back in there. It's a little short notice, but it's nothing I haven't done before.
Yeah, exactly. How do you, as far as preparation and everything? Who've been some of your main training partners for this camp?
Well, I was at home for a little bit. I came down to Jackson Wink. I'm getting with Coach Winklejohn and Frank Lester and these guys, and just working on sharpening up. There's not much you can do in like 10 days notice. That you hope you have a good. I know that I have a good base layer. Like I went right back into the gym after this last fight, so I'm expecting to be as sharp and feel as good as I did last time, and get the win this time.
And on that same note, who's going to be in your corner for this fight?
Frank Lester, Mike Winklejohn, and Dave Mirikatani. Same.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. Nice having a little mix there. How about the weight cut? Again, you have these fights so close together. I imagine you're keeping the diet on point so you don't have to cut too much weight.
Yeah. It's keeping it down there. It's 55 is like, I'd say just below a natural weight class for me. So I have to be on top of it.
Yeah, no, I hear you on that. How do you see this fight playing out on Thursday?
Well, I expect Johnny to come out and try to jab me out a little bit and keep me at distance since he's a little taller. So I plan on getting in his face and making it ugly and getting the win in the first or the second.
And I know the focus is definitely on Johnny with this fight coming up here in a few days. But is there anyone in the regular season that you haven't fought that you'd like to fight in the lightweight division? Like, do you have a preference or anyone you'd like to match up against? Eventually.
Nah, man, all those guys, all 7 of those guys are tough guys. You got to had to win tough fights to win the tournament anyway. So I'm really not looking ahead at of Johnny Case. I have a big abstract goal of winning 4 fights in a row and getting that million. But there's the opponents are just nameless people in front of me. I mean, I know about these guys, and when the time comes, I'll be ready for them. But I'm not worried about that right now.
And have they told you, like, do you have to win this fight in order to get in the playoffs? Like, how does the point system work?
Yeah, 100%. Johnny and I are both fighting for that last spot. So
Okay, adds a little bit of more stakes to the fight, which is always good. Um,
definitely.
We talked about obviously, the tough fights being in your division. Who do you think has been the most impressive so far, just from what you've seen in the regular season? And you can't say Jason High.
I'd probably say the division leader, the guy I fought last round's been pretty impressive. I mean, probably his two biggest wins, so he's looked pretty good.
Yeah, no, I'd say so too. Took out Chris Wade and then took out yourself. Obviously, you guys are all taking on tough fighters, so it's just one of those things. Have you thought about yet what you'd do if you won the $1 million at the end of this thing? Because you're still in this. There's definitely a good chance you could end up, taking this whole thing.
Yeah, I plan on getting in there and getting it done, man. I think that things are working out for me to have a big comeback, so I'm excited for it. And after I win the $1 million, I plan on going up to welterweight and winning it there next year.
Okay, the two division champ.
Making my return to welterweight.
I like that. What about would you invest the money? Would you spend it on something? Is there any financial thing that you want to just take care of? What would you do if you did win the $1 million?
I'd probably buy a house somewhere, another house, and then I've been thinking about buying a house in New Mexico so I could drive down here and maybe Airbnb it while I'm not here.
There you go. Good call. Okay.
Yeah, but I'd also me and my life partner are talking about having some acreage to retire to and do the gardening thing and having dog kennels and all kinds of shit out there. So that'd be fun to get started on, but I guess what I really want to do is in 20 years, I want to be able to give my daughter enough money for a house payment like these white folks do. That's what I want to do.
Right.
Like a down payment. I want to be able to give her that down payment in 20 years. So
property's so important. That's such a good idea. I mean, it's, because it's one of those things that the property itself never depletes. It's usually just the house, and you can always renovate that and update it, right?
Right.
Yeah. No, I'm learning all about that. My wife and I just bought a house, so it's been quite the process. I don't envy anyone who has to go through that because it's always a little difficult.
Definitely better than renting, I guess.
Yes. No, it's good to build up that equity. Last question before we let you go. What's downtime looking like these days? Are you watching any Netflix or playing any video games, anything like that?
Man, I didn't get a chance to bring my Xbox with me this time, but normally I bring it and play some PUBG. I'm not very good, but play sometimes.
Okay.
What I do is termed playing, then I do that.
Okay.
I read some books, man. I got a garden at home when I'm at home that takes up some of my time, and I got the gym as well. American Top Team KC. My friend and I do a podcast called the Trap House Variety Hour. It's on Apple. It's on iTunes. So, I got some things few irons in the fire, I guess.
Okay. It's always good to have options. And this is going to be a great fight. It's coming up here this Thursday. It is PFL 7. Jason, it was really great getting a chance to talk to you, man. Just remind people where they can find you on social media. And if you have any sponsors or let anyone know where they can find your podcast, the floor is yours, man.
Yes. I'm on Twitter at Highwalker MMA, Instagram Jason_Highwalker, and the podcast is the Trap House Variety Hour. It's on iTunes. Yeah. So check that out.
What's up, fight fans? If you like this video, be sure to subscribe to see even more interviews with your favorite UFC and Bellator fighters. We've also got coverage at events, including post-fight press conferences and media scrums. And if you like this video, check out the video to my right. It's worth your